What's up, guys? We have a big show for you tonight. My name is King David MMA. I'm a professional MMA champion, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I coach, teach at Extreme Couture. And tonight we have a big show for you. Sean O'Malley has completely lost his mind. I read a clip of what he has said recently. I hadn't seen it and I just saw it, and it is absolutely freaking bonkers, guys. This guy has gone off the rocker. Plus, we're going to get into the fact that Rampage Jackson, Arman Sarzukian, a bunch of other MMA fighters, champions, title contenders, former legends are making more money kick streaming than they are from their entire UFC careers. Man, speaking of fighter pay, Dana White has completely removed himself from the negotiations on fighter pay and what fighters are going to fight each other. That's a big news. People are popping off about that. Speaking of people popping off about fights, while all the fighters are now kick streaming to make money, the streamer, Brandon Schaub, is hinting that he wants to fight again. He's making big, bold claims. Will he actually fight again? Brandon Schaub has pissed everybody off again, saying that he's going to fight. We're going to get into all that. Speaking of Brendan Schaub, his best friend, Joe Rogan, is also under severe scrutiny right now. People are saying Joe Rogan is absolutely compromised because he made some comments recently that have him looking suspect to the majority of the people that are out there in the real world. I told you it was a big show tonight. I've got a question for you guys as well. Will Sean Strickland actually get a mic for this press conference and the build-up for his Khamzat Chimaev title fight? Are they going to give him a mic? Or are they going to keep him unmuted? He has some takes that are not in alignment with the current presidential administration, and that's Dana White's dear friend, who is the president, and Sean Strickland is very critical of him right now. Are they going to let Sean get on the mic and talk that shit, guys? No, tell him what he might say. Are they going to let him do it? That's the question. Also, if we have time, I'm going to clarify my thoughts on clavicular and Lux Maxim, because what I said previously upset some people. And guess what? It's okay to be mad, guys. We can have different opinions. It's all right. I'll be okay. But I'm going to clarify it. So if you're going to be mad at me, you can be mad at me for what I actually believe instead of speculation. Let me talk to the chat real quick. We got people hopping on the chat. Oh, and speaking of big fights, check out Fight Circus, guys. Home of the Freak Show fights. Go follow them on Instagram. Tell them King David MMA sent you. They got the craziest shit you've ever seen in your life. Okay, so telling you all Joes are no good. So Arpon the Don says, if you're named Joe, you're no good. Man, I don't know too many Joes. Do you guys? I don't know, man. Is that a valid statement or not? Now they're gonna make sure he don't get it. They can't have that happen. Okay, yeah. So we got some hot takes already popping in the chat, guys. Let's get right into it. Let me take a sip of this Zevia soda so I can get a little more caffeine, guys. And make sure you send your coach to studiomillions.com. Studio Millions will absolutely pack the gym full of students who stay, pay, and refer. Your coach will love you. They'll thank you. They'll appreciate you. Studiomillions.com. Shout out to everybody that's already subscribed. All the real ones, guys. You know how we do it around here. You know I like to have a conversation. I like to have a dialogue instead of a monologue. I like to be in the chat with you guys. So if you've already subscribed, make sure your notifications are on. That way you can hop on when I go live and we can hang out together, guys, because it's way more fun when I get to interact with all of you. How much caffeine today? See, those are the questions that the people want to know. Let me count it up. 300 off the jump. We just start with that. And then another 240. Okay. So that's 540. 540. Dude, we're slacking today. 574. 604. I'm at 608. I'm slacking, guys. I'm freaking slacking. Only 608 milligrams of caffeine today. That's like rookie numbers. You know what I'm saying? Those are like normal people numbers. But let's get right into the top story. So I saw something that Sean O'Malley said, and it's recirculating now because there's all this fighter pay drama going on right now. People are upset. Money Moicano just won on UFC Fight Night, and he said, fuck the fans. And then he went on to say he wants to fight guys with names for money. And if not, then he's going to go back to just YouTubing because why is he fighting tough guys that nobody knows? So this is the current state of MMA. Okay. Fighter pay has got everybody up in arms. And Sean O'Malley, I got the whole quote for you guys. Sean O'Malley recently said, I think this was last month, and it's recirculating now. Listen to what he says. He's so fucking off base with this, guys. I have a message for UFC fighters like John Jones, Ronda Rousey, Justin Gaethje, all complaining about how much the UFC pays. The UFC made you. Dana White made you a star. You would be nothing without the UFC. I just don't get it. I don't have a manager and I don't negotiate my contracts. I just accept what they offer. Don't bite the hand that built you. That's Sean O'Malley's quote. Now, Sean, who the public would say got special treatment from the second that he arrived. He got fucking Snoop Dogg as his special announcer on Contender Series. Remember? O'Malley, O'Malley, O'Malley. Remember when Snoop was the fucking commentator? He started his career with Snoop Dogg sending him ultra viral. And then off that, he had very favorable matchups. If you ask anyone out there, I believe the matchups were much tougher, but the general population says he got fed specific people at specific times, like he didn't have to fight Marab coming up, right? I have a different take on that. We'll get to that in a second. But the general consensus is that Sean O'Malley had a very different career than most people. And then he comes out and says, oh, he doesn't negotiate. He just takes what they give him. Dude, they gave you Snoop Dogg to start your career, make you ultra viral. They give you custom shorts, custom walkout. That's not the experience for everybody. And then he's saying that the UFC made you to John Jones, Justin Gaethje, Ronda Rousey. Like, dude, like, read the room, bro. That's not the consensus of how everybody feels. And while I do feel Sean O'Malley got tougher matchups than what people may interpret them as, like he fought Peter Yan before he won the belt, right? Like, so O'Malley, before he was given a title shot against Aljo, he beat Peter Yan. That's a tough matchup, right? So at some point, you got to fight tough guys. But the consensus is, and maybe you guys agree, that he got favorable matchups up until that point. So he's now telling John Jones, who arguably is the greatest fighter in human history, that John Jones should just accept whatever contract he gets and not negotiate. Dude, freaking Sean O'Malley doesn't even have a manager. He's negotiating. He's not even negotiating. He's just signing the deals they give him. Do you guys think that would work out for everybody in the UFC if they just signed their own deals and they didn't have a manager? That's wild. That's fucking wild. And I don't know, man. So to me, it's like he has a one of one career. He has millions of dollars from his streaming. He has a brand. He has Snoop Dogg promoting him at his Contender Series fight. He has a very unique experience. There's other guys that get signed. They fight on the undercard. They're getting paid 12,000 and 12,000, and no one knows they're even in the UFC. There's no like media for them. There's no they get the mic after they fight. There's no anybody promoting them anywhere. There's no, you know, multi-decade famous rapper talking about them at Contender Series. There's none of that, right? They're literally getting signed to the undercard with no marketing, no promotion, no nothing. And the only thing that's keeping them from like being completely forgotten is they've got some manager like fighting for them, at least, trying to get them good matchups, trying to get them like a pay raise, trying to negotiate contracts. So Sean O'Malley has a unique experience. I'm happy that he's able to do that and just accept whatever money they give him. But let me ask you this, guys. If Sean O'Malley had like a super savvy business manager, do you think he would get more money? Do you think that Conor McGregor would just sign whatever? Dude, Conor McGregor made more money than anybody in UFC history. And he's got a manager negotiating his deals. And from my understanding, Conor and his team go in there and they go in there with the numbers of the gate. They go in there with the numbers of the opponents that they've had. So let's say Connor fights Max Holloway as an example. Hey, every one of Max Holloway's fights did this number. Then he fought Connor, and then Max Holloway's numbers increased by this, by this, by this. So they're not only talking about Connor's numbers, they're going in there and explaining to the UFC that anybody that fights Connor is then a star. For example, Nate Diaz. Before Connor, Nate was making like 50 G's a fight. After Connor, he's a multimillionaire. But because Connor and Nate fought, Nate then started crushing it and doing numbers. So Connor's team will go in there and say, hey, look, Connor fought Nate. Here's what Nate was doing in terms of ticket sales, in terms of, viewership, in terms of everything from his past 10 fights. Then he fights Connor, and look at the numbers that he has now. And so when they're able to show, not only does Connor bring an audience, but anybody that fights Connor then brings an audience. Anybody that's associated with Connor brings an audience. Those are the types of numbers that a manager will present and then make a case to get more money. So if Sean O'Malley thinks that the UFC is giving him the maximum money that they're comfortable giving him, that's wrong. They would give him more money. Sean O'Malley is valuable. But if Sean O'Malley doesn't even attempt to prove that, or maybe he is and he's doing his own managing, but it sounds like from this quote, he's literally just signing whatever they give him, right? Oh, we got Felony Charles Bennett, MMA legend in the chat. And, we're over Felony, we're talking about fighter management. You know what I'm saying? Sean O'Malley is just signing whatever the UFC gives him. So I feel like Sean could get more money if Sean had somebody going in there with these are the exact numbers. Here's exactly what we did. Here's how many ticket sales we brought in. Here's how many viewerships. Here's how many sponsors, eyeballs there were on the sponsors. Here's the exact amount of sponsors you guys had. And then here's the exact amount of sponsors that you guys had for my fight. And if that number's bigger, well, then there's a case too, right? So every single number they possibly could have, Conor McGregor's management pulls up with. He can. Oh shit. Okay. Felony's got a hot take. He said he could get it himself. He said he could get it himself. Okay. So Felony and I got a different take on the situation. So there you go. Maybe Sean's right. Maybe I'm tripping. I like having a manager. The other cool thing about having a manager is it's good cop, bad cop, right? I like to be vibey, good vibes only. I like to hey man, what you like positive, right? Like see the positive side of things. My manager will go in and they'll gut the whole thing. Like, dude, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, blah, blah, blah. Right. So for instance, I don't like to fly on Spirit. I don't like to fly on Frontier. I don't like to fly on Allegiant, right? But I'm appreciative that they're offering me a fight. So I don't feel like it's in my I'm just vibing, right? I'm just gonna come here, bounce a dude's head off the mat, collect a belt, collect a bag of cash. I can't be bothered with the airplane drama. But my manager can. So he's going to tell them, oh, King David MMA doesn't fly on those airlines. You got to get him a flight like this. You got to get him a seat like this. You got and now my manager's the bad guy where I'm just vibing, right? I just get to say yes. Like, oh, yeah, man, love to fight that guy. Hey, can't wait to go out there. Okay, cool. It's, whatever, Montana. Cool, Montana. That's awesome. 36 hours notice. Cool. I'd love to fight. Yeah, bro. Da, da, da. Then my manager hits them. Hey, we need this. 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 And one, I feel like that's a lot of stress. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay somebody a percentage to do that personally, you know? And so I think there's a lot of opportunity that that having a manager would help with. And so beyond the management conversation, the fact that Sean O'Malley is implying that John Jones, Ronda, and Justin Gaethje should just take what they're given is kind of wild, right? Like, people can say what they want about Ronda. That that chick made the UFC a lot of money. She broke them open into new global audiences that they could have never got before. Hollywood loved Ronda. She was doing talk shows and TV shows and going to events that no UFC fighter in history has ever gone to, let alone even been invited to. Ronda broke the game open for a lot of people. She was Conor before Conor was Conor. I don't know if you guys remember that. Ronda was the one breaking all the records for all the numbers. Ronda was the one making all the money. And now she wants to get paid, and it's like, oh, just shut up and sign whatever they give you. Fuck that, man. And I'm not saying be an asshole and don't fight and request a crazy number that they're not going to pay you, but like, hey, man, I see the contracts for this. I think I'm worth this. Here's how I got to my number. How did you guys get to your number? Right. And then they'll have an explanation. Hey, well, we can't pay you that because this, and that. And then you go, well, here's how I see it. I did this, I did this, I did this. The last fight that I had did this many numbers. The person that I fought went from this to this after they fought me. Here's how I'm making you guys money. And honestly, professionals appreciate professionalism. So I feel like there's a huge opportunity for John Jones, Ronda, and Justin Gaethje. Now, I'm not saying that they're going about it the right way, which is negotiating in public and then absolutely not fighting unless the UFC meets their demands. But, if it comes down to something where they want to pay John Jones 15 million and John wants 30 million, and then they can meet in the middle at 22.5 million, let's, especially for a guy like Alex Pereira. I think John should have fought that guy for $15 million. I understand his point with Tom Aspinall. He didn't have any footage on Tom Aspinall, and John likes to study his opponents. John likes to seek out their weakness and exploit it. You know what I mean? John likes to see their patterns. John likes to read them like a book. John likes to be prepared. So people can say whatever they want about John Jones. John Jones is a fucking studious, calculated, cold-blooded fucking MMA killing machine. That motherfucker knows what he's doing when it comes to fight preparation. And one of the toughest things to do is prepare for a fight that you don't know shit about against a very dangerous opponent like Tom Aspinall. So John's like, hey, you want me to risk my legacy? Everything I've built, I understand how fickle the fans can be. They're going to jump off my bandwagon if I even look mortal in the fight. If it's a 3-round split decision and I get the decision, they're going to say Tom won. And if Tom were to get the jump on John, dude, the fans would fucking say he was never as good. So he's risking everything. And in order to risk everything, he's asking for 30 million. Now, I don't think the fight against Alex Pereira is as dangerous as the unknown Tom Aspinall at the time. I even don't think that the current Tom Aspinall is as dangerous because John's got more footage on him now, right? So, is there a negotiation to be had? Yes. Is Sean O'Malley doing well? Okay, good. Could he be doing better? Yeah. And his stance is unique to him. He's a multimillionaire from streaming. He had a very special career with a lot of special opportunities. He got very fortunate to have Snoop Dogg announcing his Contender Series. Like, he had a lot of things go right for him. So while it may work for him to just sign whatever the UFC gives him, because it seems like the UFC kind of likes him too, that's probably not the fucking case for anybody like else at all, probably. So speaking of fighter pay, Dana White, it's now circulating. This is all in the public now. That Dana White has completely removed himself from fighter negotiations, and his quote is, "He's only doing the fun stuff." So, to my understanding, this happened like more than a year ago. This is not news, but it's now circulating as if it's news. And I don't know if Dana recently got asked about it again and he said it, but to my understanding, and Dana follows me on Instagram, I go to the UFC Performance Institute, I train at Extreme Couture with all the top guys, that Dana has not been involved directly in fighter negotiations in quite some time. To my understanding, it's Sean Shelby is the matchmaker, Mick Maynard is the other matchmaker, and Hunter Campbell is the one who's doing the contract negotiations for the bigger names. Like, so for instance, Sean Shelby, if you just get signed to the 155-pound division, he will give you a contract and an opponent, or he will give you a contract and a selection of opponents. You say, I'd like to fight this guy. He goes, okay, great. Or he gives you a contract and opponent, and then you go, I would not like to fight that guy. And then he goes, cool. Boom, hits you back in 6 months with a different opponent or whatever it is, right? At a higher level, once you're more of a superstar, Hunter Campbell, to my understanding, is the one who's doing the negotiations, right? So I was under the impression that Dana White has been out of it for a while, but now that it's news and it's circulating, everybody is saying that that's why the UFC is perceived as going downhill, and Dana seems like he's checked out, right? I don't think that that's what it is. I believe that the fight cards seem like they're watered down because they have contractual obligations to, let's say, Paramount Plus currently, where they have to have X amount of fights. So they need to sign that many more fighters. And because they only have a limited amount of time, they can't build stories around everybody. So a lot of the fights, people are going to be knocking each other off. Boom, 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 boom. Then you get to a certain point, and now they're going to see, oh, you've got potential. You won 3 fights. We're going to take our time and invest in you. Now we're going to build your story. We're going to make you more popular. We're going to get your name out there, and we're going to actually help you build your brand, because now we see that you can make us money because you can survive the rigor of the bottom of the UFC. Because why would they invest in somebody that's not going to make it out of the bottom undercard, no name versus no name fights? They're only interested in guys who are like starting to crack the top 15, and then like, oh, this guy might go somewhere. Now let's start paying attention to him. Now we're going to introduce him to the fans in that regard. So I think that's why the fight cards seem watered down, because a lot of the fight cards are there to fulfill contractual obligations with guys who the UFC doesn't know if they're worth investing in or not yet. So you're going to see guys who will then become stars later on, but at the time they're unknowns and they're already on the Paramount Plus cards. The you know, what are we going to call them? The fight nights, not the numbered events. Speaking of streamers, Brendan Schaub is saying this is 2 different Schaub shows in a row. One was Spider and the Kid, the other one was a Schaub show. And Brendan Schaub he is, what do we call it? Implying that he wants to fight again. He's having his co-hosts name names of fighters he would fight. One of which we did a live on, which was Brendan Schaub says he will fight Brock Lesnar as long as they can both do steroids. He also said he will wrestle anyone that's a heavyweight in the RAF, Real American Freestyle, as long as they're not a wrestler. So he wants to wrestle other MMA fighters in RAF. So all the Rampages of the world, all the Armin Sarzukians of the world are fighters turned streamers. Now Brendan Schaub is a fighter turned streamer who's trying to turn back into fighting, if that makes any sense. So, the whole world's getting mixed up with the streaming, and this all comes down to fighter pay, which is getting back to what Sean O'Malley is kind of saying, which is the UFC made you, but there's only a certain amount of people that can go live IRL on a kick stream and actually have viewership, right? Some of these people, dude, they don't even give a fuck to do it, let alone be good at it. I don't know, how many minutes are we in? 24, 25 minutes? I've been ranting nonstop for 25 minutes. That's a special skill set, guys. Not everybody cares to or could do that, let alone want to go hang out with Neon and hear Neon say stupid takes about like, oh, bro, I saw Neon. This is a recirculated clip. Neon, the dorky little streamer, is insulting Andrew Tate. Like, oh, dude, you think that girls would rather fuck your bald ass than me? And it's like, bro, what are we doing here? Is this what it's come down to? is that like the 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 least viable human is now the bigger streamer. You get what I'm saying? Like the worse your take is, you're gonna get more views. Like the dorkier, nerdier, less attractive to women, fucking special needs dude is gonna insult the dude that's fucking 6'3" with abs, that's a world kickboxing champion, multi-millionaire, Bugatti driving, international superstar, and then we're supposed to sit around and go like, "Oh, did you see what Neon said? He called Andrew Tate." Like, dude, so that takes a special type of person to sit there and understand that, like, hey, I'm gonna go on the stream with this fucking weird kid, and this weird kid's gonna say stupid shit to me, but it's gonna get me more viewers, and then I'm gonna go sell my digital products. So I'm gonna fucking tolerate this nerd. Like, that's a very rare skill set, a very rare person that would like put up with that. You get what I'm saying? So anyways, I see Armin over there trying to help the dude out. He's trying to help Neon out. And, that guy, man, he needs to do some fucking push-ups or something, bro. Who's slap boxing? Who is slap boxing next Friday? Who doesn't have it anymore? You saying Neon doesn't have it anymore? Or you saying Tate? Felony Charles Bennett says somebody slap boxing next Friday. So yeah, guys. Oh shit. Okay. Felony says we're coming. We're popping out to Hawaii. Felony's got a bare knuckle fight. Yeah, for the strangers. So Felony's got a bare knuckle fight at BKFC Honolulu, Hawaii. So we are flying out Wednesday. He's going to be cracking somebody's head open on Saturday, collecting a bag of cash and bouncing. Get Felony on the stream with you. Who that? Who's 1 second? Hey, Felony, where you at? Felony, if you can hear me, come hop in. Say hi to everybody. Felony, hop on right quick. Let me give him another chair too. This is how we do it, guys. This is how we freaking do it. All right, so whenever Felony sees that, he'll probably pop in. Next subject, Felony. They not sending you money to your PayPal. Somebody hit Felony's Cash App. Felony says he'll hop on the stream. You gotta hit his Cash App, guys. We had this discussion before where there you go, guys. Hit his Cash App. What did you say the other day, Felony? Something like you're a whore or something. You're a cheap whore. Yeah. So send Felony money, guys. That's his Cash App. So we had this discussion the other day. We've been getting like interview requests for Felony, and we've been getting podcast requests for Felony, and the podcasts and the interviews, etc., are not chopped up in a fast fashion to where we're able to put them out and run. Like, so for instance, we've got all this footage for a like a UFC embedded, but a BKFC for Felony, right? But the footage isn't edited. So it's like from now on, my understanding is if you want Felony on the stream, you got to shoot the dude some dough, because he's no longer going to get involved in people's projects that are not going to be beneficial to everybody involved, you know? So that's what's going on with Felony and the stream. Speaking of controversial topics, Joe Rogan had Theo Vaughn on, and Theo Vaughn asked Joe Rogan some questions and had some statements about what's going on in the Middle East. And then Joe Rogan pretended that he doesn't know what Theo's talking about and acted like Theo was crazy. And now the entire freaking internet is saying Joe Rogan is compromised. So my question is, do you guys think Joe's compromised? Because everybody's got one idea of what's going on overseas, right? They're saying that the president ran on a platform of no foreign wars, and now we're in a foreign war. Everybody's saying that that wasn't necessarily his primary decision, but that that was being decided for him in a way by people who control the government. And Joe Rogan seems to not understand what Theo Von's saying by that, guys. So now Joe's looking like he's compromised. And I think Joe is staying open minded. I don't think that Joe's compromised in that regard. I think Joe wants to believe that things are happening for good reasons. But my concern with Joe is that Joe goes on these tangents because I was watching the Bob Lazar interview, and Bob Lazar worked at Area 51, and he's the first person to say that the United States government, like to any degree of public knowledge, has UFOs. This was back in like the 80s. Bro, I don't even know my PayPal, dog. That's what I was saying. They could just hit your cash app, dog. I'm not tripping, bro. I'm not tripping. You know what I mean? But he started interrupting Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar was kicking knowledge, and then he went off on this fucking tangent about like, hey, so I think that we're all supposed to have autism, and that's how we evolve into aliens, and maybe we're supposed to be genderless autistic robots. And I'm like, Joe, bro, quit trying to fucking sound smart, dog. Human beings not men's testosterone lowering and women becoming infertile is not good for humanity. 1 in 12 kids in California having autism is not good for humanity, guys. This is not normal. And Joe's like, maybe it's necessity to take us to the next level where we integrate with the AI and become robot humans. It's like, dude, I get that that sounds like a cool take or whatever you're fucking high as fuck on, and you think you're like really kicking knowledge. Dog, that's bad, bro. It's fucking bad. So that's my beef with Joe Rogan right now. Other than that, the show was fucking epic. I love the Bob Lazar. I'm still not fucking finished with it. I almost finished the Bob Lazar episode. And I don't know. I'm into fucking UFOs and all kinds of crazy shit. Dude, I've been getting these flat earth reels. And all right, now the reels are getting even crazier. The reel I just got says that there's one dragon left and it's frozen in Antarctica. And that's why this is what this dude's saying. He's saying that Republicans are lizard people and the Democrats are not lizard people. And the Republicans want global warming so that the Antarctica melts and the dragon unfreezes, and the Democrats are trying to stop it. He feels that's what's going on in society, right? So that's also a competing theory, right? So we got Joe Rogan saying that human beings are going to evolve into aliens in the future. We're going to merge with AI and we're going to become big, gray, big headed, sexless, genderless, um, fucking autistic robot people. And then we got this other dude popping up on my Instagram reels saying raccoons are aliens and that there's a frozen dragon in Antarctica, and that's the actual battle of the government right now. Is one side wants to unfreeze the last dragon, and the other side wants to keep the dragon frozen, guys. So listen, you can have as much fun as you want on the internet because the conspiracy theory reels get fucking fun. All right, so speaking of people saying fun shit, Sean Strickland got his mic cut off the last time he was on the mic. Is that because of the new Paramount deal? Do they not like his takes? Can they not handle an uncensored Sean Strickland? And what is going to happen when Sean Strickland gets on the mic for the Hamzat Chimaev World Title Fight press conference and Paramount Plus, who is allegedly owned by people who support what the president is doing overseas, are going to have access to Sean's mic. Are they going to cut him off or are they going to let him fucking talk? Is he going to talk that shit and say what he feels about what's going on in the Middle East? Or they're going to cut him the fuck off? That's my question. So not only am I excited to see the fight, I'm curious to see the buildup of the fight, not just to see them talk shit. I want to see how the UFC handles the situation. Are we really about the fucking free speech like they're saying that they are? Are they going to give Sean the fucking platform to speak up about his feelings that we shouldn't be in the war? Are they going to let him have an anti-war, pro-peace message? Or are they going to cut his fucking mic again and mute him? That's my question. So, exciting times, guys. We get to see in real time. Are they going to stand on business and let him fucking speak freely or not? Fucking A, man. That's the fight before the fight. Plus, if you guys saw Hamza, he picked up and spun DC around like he was a baby. So Hamzat's looking strong. He also did the same thing to Khalil Roundtree at the Jackson podcast when they were sparring and training together. So Hamzat is picking up big ass grown men like this and then spinning them around. He actually had a gable grip on the back, if I remember correctly. Or it could have been yeah, it was gable grip. He picked him up, boom. And then he spun him around like a baby. And DC wrestled in the Olympics. So they weren't going 100%, but DC's not going to just let anybody pick him up like a baby and spin him around. So Hamzat's looking strong. The question is, can Sean wrestle up once he gets taken down? Will Hamzat be able to go 5 rounds with somebody that's actually able to get up? Or will Sean, trying to get up, give up his back, and then Hamzat hits him with the Robert Whitaker? These are the questions that the people have. And before we hop off tonight, the biggest news of all, you guys know that Clavicular was doing it for the stream. He got himself choked out. He's very controversial. He's telling everybody looks max. And I do not believe that looks maxing is the path for a man to victory. I believe looks are more important in men's eyes. So then they are trying to optimize for what's attractive to them. Now, I have a absolute dime piece genius girlfriend, right? She's not with me. I mean, I do have a God-given jawline. I mean, all this right here, premeditated, partner. If you guys never seen that movie, go watch that fucking movie. It's called 40-Year-Old Virgin. But before I start getting to looking at myself in the fucking camera, right? So she's not with me for looks, right? She's with me for my presence, guys. So my thoughts on looks maxing are: if you are a chick, looks maxing is fine. If you are a dude, looks maxing will give you a little boost in life. But what's really gonna give you the biggest absolute fucking boost you can get in life as a man is developing your fucking presence. And you get that by becoming like a fucking crystalline, fucking solid, solidified human being. Oftentimes, the best way to get that is through doing hard shit. So anyway, guys, listen, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notifications. I absolutely love having you guys on the live, on the chat, dropping fucking knowledge and comments. So I'm gonna hop off this because I'm fucking sweating in this room. I forget to turn the air conditioning on before I go live sometimes, and it gets hot as fuck with these bright ass lights. But I hope you guys are having a great night, and keep it vibey, man. Good vibes only. Love you.